When a woman reaches sexual climax, her active mind quiets, and her perception of time actually warps. In laboratory studies, researchers tracking physiological responses found that women consistently guessed their orgasms lasted only a fraction of the actual time. Clinical measurements show an average climax lasts about 20 seconds, yet to the person experiencing it, those 20 seconds can feel like a fleeting instant or an expansive eternity. This profound distortion in timekeeping points to exactly what is happening under the surface. The female orgasm requires a massive neurological event that temporarily rewires how the brain processes reality. But the biological capacity for this experience doesn't always match reality. Studies consistently show a disparity in sexual satisfaction between heterosexual men and women, often called the orgasm gap. To understand why this happens, sex educators look to the dual control model. This framework shows human sexual response is driven by two independent neurological systems, an accelerator and a brake. While the accelerator responds to pleasurable stimuli, the brakes respond to threats. Daily stress, fatigue, and cultural conditioning actively suppress physical desire. Reaching climax requires a specific mental environment. The brain's defensive brakes must be completely and safely powered down before the body can move toward physical release. When those brakes lift, arousal escalates, heart rate and breathing synchronize, and vasocongestion begins. This is the localized swelling of tissues caused by a rapid increase in blood flow. Most of that blood flow targets the clitoris, the hub for external pleasure. Sensation here is collected by the pudendal nerve, the primary neural conduit linking the external genitals to the central nervous system. Sensory signals travel as rapid, intense electrical pulses straight up the specific pathway, routing directly into the lower spinal cord. The resulting physical climax triggered by this spinal route is typically a highly intense, sharply localized event that peaks in a sudden release of tension. This reliable external route covers only one province of a much larger internal geography. Deeper inside the reproductive system lie distinct internal zones, like the G-spot and A-spot located along the vaginal wall, and the cervix at the gateway to the womb. These areas operate on an entirely separate neural highway, the vagus nerve. This is one of the body's longest nerve networks, running from the abdomen straight up to the head. Because of this unique anatomy, signals from these deep internal zones completely bypass the spinal cord. They carry sensory data directly into the brain center. Regardless of which nerve delivers the signal, the physical mechanics of the climax share a specific rhythm. The pelvic floor muscles contract involuntarily at highly precise intervals of exactly 0.8 seconds. Individual variables, like the strength of those pelvic floor muscles, nerve health, and age, dictate how long those contractions continue, with recorded durations ranging wildly from 3 brief seconds to expansive 2-minute events. Mapping these two distinct pathways, the rapid spinal route of the pudendal nerve and a deep, direct-to-brain bypass of the vagus nerve, explains exactly why external and internal orgasms create different physical experiences. All of these upward nerve pathways, whether from the surface or deep inside, eventually converge on their final destination, the complex architecture of the brain. Specifically, they interact with the prefrontal cortex. This is the region of the brain responsible for self-monitoring, forward planning, and daily vigilance. For a climax to occur, neuroscientists have observed a strict requirement. The specific region of the brain must literally deactivate. Once that center of conscious worry goes dark, the nervous system is instantly flooded with a chemical wash of dopamine and oxytocin, the brain's primary reward and bonding hormones. It is a biological paradox. The brain must completely turn off its conscious anxieties before the body can turn on its ultimate release. The female orgasm defies any single, standardized mechanical description. It is a highly individualized internal landscape. Reaching it requires a specific alignment, the stimulation of external nerves, the awakening of deep internal bypass pathways, and absolute mental quiet. This coordination between the nerves and the mind allows the human nervous system to fully let go and exist entirely in the present moment.